Boris Johnson gave some respite to couples waiting to get married, 50,000 of them, as he lifted the 30-guest limit on services and receptions. But other restrictions on weddings do remain in place. Yes,
so what are the do's and don'ts at a wedding? Couples will still be able to enjoy their first dance from June the 21st and be adored or ridiculed in speeches. I don't know, never been married. Ideally on a PA system, while guests can get fun snapshots of the day in photo booths. Is that in the guidance now? Photo booths?
Yes, apparently, yeah. It's all coming out.
It's legislating on photo booths at weddings.
It's getting crazy.
However, attendees will only be allowed on tables of up to 6 and must remain seated. There will be no singing allowed, including hymns, and no dancing indoors. Well, they've all become a little bit Puritan, haven't they, these weddings?
Yeah, I think a lot of people are just going to kind of try and get around it, you know. And you can dance outside. They say it's a bit like the orange zone.
But that's advised against.
It's advised against.
I know it's not legislated against.
But the police won't come. The police might come if you dance indoors, and you might get fined. We've been trying to check this out this morning because it's all still forming. It's been very vague, but we've established that you could be fined if you dance inside.
So the venue could be fined if they allow you to get up and dance. I mean, goodness me, what is this going to mean then for weddings? Joining us now is broadcaster and DJ Neve Spencer. Says she can't imagine celebrating a wedding without dancing, while broadcaster Gemma Forty says it's the love that's important and the party can come later. Well, good morning to you both.
Morning.
Neve Spencer, you are a DJ. So, of course, you want people dancing. And, of course, the DJs who are currently still without work because dancing's not allowed at weddings want dancing, don't they?
This is another very confusing piece of a very confusing puzzle. What does this mean?
Yeah.
Why are we not allowed to dance? And I'm sorry, but it's not a proper wedding unless you dance. I'm Asian. You dance from the minute you walk in to the minute you leave. The better you dance, the higher you rank as an individual. Dancing is that much of a big deal in my culture at weddings. But what is a wedding without seeing your uncle doing the chicken on the dance floor?
And you also made the point that, I mean, you look at all the shots from sports stadiums and events of that kind going on, and pop and rock festivals which have been happening. Everybody's dancing and putting their arms around each other there, aren't they?
This is what does not make sense. I've DJ'd at events and I've seen people standing up because I played a really good track and suddenly security saying, sit down, sit down. So in the end, they're sort of dancing on the way to the loo because that's the only time that you're in movement. I just don't understand this. And yes, so many entertainers and so many DJs and performers are gutted today. Let us dance. That's what they're saying.
Well, Gemma, yes, you say we're being distracted by the wrong thing because weddings aren't about seeing the chicken dance. They're about the love between the couple and their life together. I mean, yes, of course they are, but come on. Where's the fun?
Look, like everybody else, given the choice, I'd go for a massive disco, but the choice has been taken away. And so my point is that there are all these couples who have been through so much stress in the last few months, and my heart goes out to them. The question is today, if your wedding's going ahead in the next few weeks or whatever, can you have a good time without? And I'm here to say yes. Don't let this ruin your day. Go ahead because there's so much more to it and you will have an amazing, beautiful day. The most important thing is that the two people show up and make those promises to each other. And actually, genuinely, that is the bit that always brings a little tear to my eye. There is something so beautiful about two people making that commitment. Then you've got all your loved ones around you. After the year we've had, that in itself is still a huge novelty and so special. There will be food, there will be wine. You will cheer when they get married. It is your duty as a guest to whoop their first dance, get smashed, have fun, and make those speeches hilarious and give them a good day.
If you were going to a wedding reception that was outside, where dancing is allowed but not recommended, would you dance?
Yes, I would, Richard.
Good for you. What about you, Neve? What about you? Presumably you do the same. If it was an outdoor thing, you'd dance without hesitation, wouldn't you?
Yeah, would you take any notice of the government guidelines or the government advice which says don't do it?
That's a bit of a loaded question. I better be careful. But honestly, I would dance and I would just get that speaker, push it out onto the lawn, make it a festival rave for all the guests. I mean, yes, you can dance with your partner, and isn't that so nice? I can dance with my husband anytime at home. I've spent a lot of time with him in the last year. I want to be able, at a wedding, to dance with my dad. I want to dance with my best friends.
Yes,
I want to dance with the flower girls. It's a unified moment. It means everything for everyone. Dancing is so crucial to having a good wedding.
Well, but listen, we've got Michael Gove coming on the show shortly, and we're going to ask him about enforcement. We're going to ask him if they are actually going to send the boys in blue round. If there's a wedding going on inside and people are dancing and somebody gets on the mobile and phones the Rozzers, are they actually going to come round? Are they actually going to bust a wedding? That's the question we'll be putting to Mr. Gove.
If the bride dances with their father, you make such a good point, Niamh. You know, can you imagine getting fined for a dance with your dad?
But imagine the pictures in the wedding album later, you know, the bride being frog marched off. Anyway, listen, we'll talk about that with Gove. Thank you both very much indeed.